Hello and welcome to Creators on the Crest. I'm Stephanie and this is the Wolf Out series, reading 10 of 12. Today I've pulled 2 cards to determine the theme, which we'll be going into in a moment, and we're going to do a spread called Your Best Self, which is going to help us identify strengths and opportunities and overcome challenges as it relates to this theme. Do keep in mind these are general readings, so only take what resonates. If this reading doesn't resonate, maybe try another one in the series. If you're interested in a personal reading, there are links in the description below, and you can connect with me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Creators on the Crest. Okay, let's take a little look-see here. Today we have the hunt, traditions, and we have seasons, life cycles. And immediately when I got these 2 cards together, I got an elder, okay? Now I've titled this Loss of an Elder or Loved One, but this could be for some of you elders that are just in those years and they may be, you know, closer to the veil, closer to moving on. And so for some of you, if there is an important elder in your life, a parent, a grandparent, aunt, uncle, friend, godparent, whomever it might be, this energy is coming up for you now because there may be some things that you need to work out with them or some time to spend with them or something like that. So the hunt in the wolf pack is all about tradition, and you know the older wolves will teach the younger wolves how to hunt. So there's very much an energy of some sort of knowledge or wisdom being offered and being gained here in this relationship, in this connection that I'm talking about. And it's not always easy. I do sense, you know, some challenge along the way. But that's okay. That is what relationships are for. They're to help us, challenge us, to help us grow, to help us move forward. And seasons comes in, life cycles, right? So understanding that the cycle of life and death is very natural. I know that in my profession, I've encountered a lot of people who have fears of death. And some of those fears could be described as irrational fears because maybe they've had something traumatic happen. And other fears could be very irrational, and a lot of the times they are. Just some irrational fear of dying. But dying is a natural part of life. And in this particular energy, I am getting an elder. I'm getting someone who's lived quite a few decades here. So not necessarily someone, you know, who we would say is passing or has passed before their time, but someone who's been around, and they're holding some sort of knowledge and wisdom. Now, we may or may not be taking advantage of gaining that. So let's see what's up in the cards here. I'm going to pull the cards, and then I'm going to walk through them one by one here. So what else would the universe like us to know about this situation? We get truth, the justice card. Okay, we get inspiration, the ace of leaders, the 8 of watchers, anxiety. Interesting. Okay. I love when things come up in positions that are really interesting, and this has happened a lot in this series. And we get the 3 of caretakers, community. Oh, wow. Okay. And we get the 10 of leaders, responsibility. Okay, wow. All right, so as usual, this situation on the surface, it looked pretty easy, but as we dig in, there are definitely some challenges here. Now, our goal here, we have a master number 11, and we have justice, and it says truth. And that is what we're setting our sights on here. So there may be, for some of you, some family secrets that need to come out, that need to be revealed, and or you've become aware of something that you want to be brought to the surface. For others of you, this could represent your own feelings toward the elder that you might be thinking of, or And even if they have passed along already, this could be somebody you're resolving something with and they've already passed. Remember, we're dealing with energy here. So just because someone has passed on does not mean that you cannot still work things out. And you're going to do that on your own behalf for you, right? I'm getting that sense. I'm getting that sense of something needs to be resolved. Something needs to be clarified, or maybe it's, for some of you, it's you being able to communicate something to this elder, some sort of appreciation, some sort of gratitude. But there's a really strong force behind this. Look at this wolf. He's baring his teeth in this picture. This is really important. And the truth isn't always easy to handle, right? So we got quite a bit of different situations. It could be based on you and your situation here. Anything from a really hard challenge about like some toxic family secret or some sort of, behavior that needs to be transformed to, just you wanting to kind of come clear and tell somebody you love them. Maybe that's been a vulnerable spot for some of you where you haven't been able to express your love to this person as much as you've wanted to. And so that's the goal. Now, the challenge here is the Ace of Leaders, inspiration. And this is actually like doing it. This is actually like keeping yourself inspired to go through this healing. If that's what's required with this person, there could have been some sort of toxic energy that got worked out, some sort of karmic situation. Some of you are having trouble just getting the inspiration to, like, it's kind of like overthinking. Like, how do I tell them? What do I say? And I say, bring it back to center and just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Whatever you need to say it simply, but get it communicated. And again, this goes for if the person is living or they're already passed on, or they're in a coma or something like that. That's okay. We're dealing with energy. And a lot travels on the spoken word. So you are absolutely allowed to communicate with this person however you need to, wherever they are, right? Some of you may need to write a letter, but this is in the challenge position. So this is where you're at. You might be kind of stuck trying to say, okay, which direction do I go? Maybe some of you have written a letter to someone that you needed to resolve something with, some elder that, maybe getting ready to pass on, and you don't know whether to send the letter or burn the letter or what to do with it. You're having a hard time getting inspired about, and then like actually taking action in that direction. Now, what's really interesting here is that our strength in this reading is the Eight of Watchers, anxiety. How in the world could anxiety be a strength, you might ask? Well, anytime we're anxious, that is our body's way. That is the mind-body-soul complex's way. That is our nervous system's way of letting us know that we need to face something, that we need to deal with something. Now, I can see the trepidation and I can feel it for some of you because it's unknown. How will this person respond? How will they respond? Will it be received? Will they even know I'm talking to them? Does this even do any good? I can hear all the anxious excuses around this, but this is our strength. Our strength is allowing this anxiety, whatever anxiety comes up around this situation, even if it's like, for some of you, this could be you're dealing with an ill or terminally ill parent, for example, and you're dealing with a lot of siblings, and it's causing, everybody's already in their grief process, and it's causing a lot of extra anxiety. But we have to learn how to use the anxious energy to our advantage. We have to learn how to transmute that. We can't be fearful of going into this anxiety because it is our strength. It is our strength right now to actually pay attention to that signpost of anxiety that is coming up, which I think is just brilliant, because a lot of times what people will do is they'll immediately want to make their anxiety go away. Immediately. They could distract themselves. And it looks like for some of you, there's distraction going on in community. So you might want to go out drinking instead of dealing with your feelings. You may be wanting to go to the bars, get out in community. Like, you might want to be celebrating anything else but dealing with what's happening here with this elder in your life, this elder energy, this unresolved energy. And right now, you're meant to be with yourself. You're meant to stay with yourself, okay? Not going into, doesn't mean you can't have a support system, but it's showing here your weakness would be going out, like here's the little paw prints, leaving behind, ignoring this anxiety, which ignoring it isn't going to make it go away. And you're going out and somehow distracting yourself. This could even be like community, like you're just getting online and going back and forth with people and distracting yourself that way in chat groups or doing something like that, or you're just binge watching like Netflix, just, with your friends or with your partner, instead of really paying attention to the internal process that's going on. There's a time for community. Absolutely, there's a time for it. But in this particular situation, with that coming up in the weakness, that means that right now, for you to deal with this anxiety and express what needs to be expressed to this elder, whether they're here or not in the physical, is one of the most important things, and one of the most important things to your introspective process. And so that hermit mode, when you feel like, I just want to get away from this, you need to come back to actually doing whatever it is you need to do to resolve this. Then you can celebrate. Then you can go out in community. But right now, you're using it as a crutch to kind of avoid here. And that's, a spiritual challenge that many of us face, especially in tricky situations where some sort of secret is being exposed, or some sort of just something needs to be said. Just something needs to be said. Even if it's just that anxiety around, I just need to tell this person how much they meant to me and how much I love them, but I'm afraid I'll cry. I'm afraid I'll do this, that, the other. No. It's meant to come out. The anxiety is pushing, is telling you, get it out. Look here. This needs attention. And then in the advice, we have responsibility. And this is about, we have one paw print here. Remember what I said here in community being the weakness? Maybe you've asked this, that, and the other, all these people, like different healers and stuff, their opinion on how you should do it. Maybe you've had all these readings and they're like, someone told you this and someone told you that, and they've told you need to do it, but you're not doing it. Or, people have told you different things and you're confusing yourself. At this point, you need to come back into you and take responsibility for whatever kind of truth this is that needs to come out in this situation with an elder. Now, for some of you, this could be in even, one of those sticky probate type situations where family members are arguing and fighting over things, and there's some sort of important piece of legal information that needs to come out, because we do have justice here, right, as the goal overall, and that would be the energy that would bring things into balance. So for some of you, you could be dealing with a community, and that could be in the weakness as well. Too many voices going in, if there's not like a sole beneficiary or somebody who's handling things, and everybody's trying to get their voice in, and there's just way too many energies, and maybe, this is happening before this elder has even passed, and all of this stuff is coming up. Coming back and really recognizing what is the responsibility, what's your responsibility here, and how are you going to move in this situation? Because you may be in a process of grief too, and grief is it's the long game, right? It doesn't just go away overnight. For some of you, you may have lost this elder quite some time ago, but something needs to come out, something with the people that are here possibly, or you lost them a long time ago. You didn't get to say what you needed to say to them. And now it's time to take responsibility for that and bring this to a place of completion, because otherwise it's burdening you. It's burdening you to keep this to yourself. Wow, super powerful reading. I would definitely recommend, get in your car, do some howling, howl at the moon. Whenever you get a chance, just try to move some of this energy with your voice as much as possible. This is the wild wolf out after all. And I would definitely wish you all the best in this situation. I know how hard these situations can be, these circumstances can be. I've been through them as well. And for those of you who are dealing with someone who is terminally ill, I am so sorry. I know that you're probably carrying a lot of weight on your shoulders right now. And I wish you all the grace and peace that can be wished for someone who might be in that situation. And for those of you who have actually lost your elder, my deepest sympathies and condolences go out to you. Again, it's life-changing, isn't it? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And when someone passes, primarily a significant elder in our lives, whether the relationship was good and healthy or not so good, bad and toxic, it still has a huge impact on us. So even if we've done a lot of healing around it, there may still be an opportunity there. So just extending a lot of grace and peace to all of you for this. And I'm wishing you all the best. And I'll see you next time.